Hello YouTube, Mos7Wan7ed here, and it's been a little while since I did my last video, something like a day and a half, 2 days, and I just had completed all of the uh, bauxite, and this is the new tank that I created for the bauxite, and just like I figured it would come pretty close to being full, so now I no longer have bauxite. I'm still producing all of this galena dust, um, and it gives me a ton of little silly tiny piles. So I've been trying to use the fabricator to kind of get rid of the tiny piles as I get them, but yeah, not being too all that successful at doing it, because it's constantly coming in. So yeah. So I'm looking for a machine that will help automate this for me, and hopefully speed up the process. So I was going to quickly see import. Why would I import paintballs? Yeah, switch this back to doing leaves and creating plant balls for me. Wait, no. That's not what it does. No. Yeah, I need it over here. Shoot. Shoot. Alright. The leaves have been going for a little while now. While I was playing around with the fabricator. So I need to go ahead and quick put this back in. Did it just say the server's restarting? Oh my gosh. Always. Never fails. Never fails. Alright, so it should... Let me export bus. Yeah. Should be filling this guy up. And then check all this out. I don't know. Something is weird. Okay, there we go. It's making tons of plant balls. Alright, so let's tell it to... I know what it was doing. It was actually pulling out some of the leaves as it was pulling it back in, because I had cleared out the import bus, so it'll just grab everything flat out. That's what was going on. Okay, so we're going to make a bunch more plant balls. Come on, open back up. Oh wait, I've got some in my inventory. Watch this plant ball number go up. 3, 4, 5, almost 10 a second, something like that we're producing. It's pretty good, I guess. And it'll continue to climb until it reaches the point where it catches back up, which shouldn't take all that long. Shouldn't take long to catch back up. Alright, so the way I want to handle the piles is there's a factorization machine called the packager. This guy right here. And I need a craft packet maker and stamper, which, if you remember, I had them over here or over here for a little while, so I should still have these guys. I don't know why I have 2 of each. I should only have 1 actually. Yeah, I'll just nuke those. I don't know why I have 2. So I need 1 on the bottom, 1 on the top, and then cobble along the sides. And this must be backwards. There we go. So the packager. Let me show you what it is so you figure out why I want to use it. So it's kind of like the fabricator in that it will, you could put items in here and it will automatically craft something out of those items. So let's do the piles, of course. That'll be the easiest thing to show you. Come on. Now, I don't know if it's me or the server right now. Shouldn't be me. Alright, so this is just going to be, let's say 11 tiny piles of silver come by. Boom. It's creating piles of, or silver dust out of the piles. Now, it's not as fast as I thought it was going to be. That crafts one a second. And it's got to play some silly audio for it to craft. But at the rate that the tiny piles come through the electrolyzer, I think that's going to be fine. Because for every cycle of the electrolyzer, we only get very few number of piles out of that that recipe. So I can pull up the recipe real quick. Okay, so you get 3 piles of silver, 3 piles of lead, 2 piles of sulfur, and I thought there was a 4th pile that you get. I guess not. So, and it's every 50 seconds, so it's not really all that fast. So even though the machine only crafts 1 per second, when it's running the way it should, it's going to be able to keep up. So it's going to be a machine that's going to be able to auto craft. The one downside is if it gets an odd number, then it'll just sit there and it won't push it through or anything like that. So I need a way of not sending anything to the machine unless I get 4 of it. So I'll need to find a way to limit what's going to be put into the stamper by 4s. This can also potentially do any craftable recipes that are in 9s, but of course, just like the dust, they have to be the same. So if you could throw 9 into something and you can get, for instance, stone, I guess? No, not stone. Well, stone actually will do something. The way it works is it'll try to use the 4x4 recipe, and if there's no 4x4 recipe, then it'll opt the 3x3, or the 2x2, or the 3x3. So it sees stone, it tries the 2x2, and it creates stone bricks. If you had something that had a 2x2 and a 3x3 option, then it would only do the 2x2. If you put wood in there, it would craft project tables. Since we had stone, it crafted bricks. If we had something like we wanted to do a compressed block, although I don't think you could do compressed blocks. Let's see if we could do compressed blocks. Nah, with GregTech you can't do compressed blocks via a crafting table or anything like that. You have to use the compressor. So I'm just going to be using this to take all these piles and convert them into dust, and then I can shove the dust out to my powered furnace, and then it'll run those. So that'll just be something else that my power furnace will be able to process while my mining machine is running. But right now we're just going through the backlog of everything that was in there. And I have a couple other dusts, but I'm not too worried about those. The ender dust, those are player created. The ruby dust, I think, is a byproduct, but it's not. It's kept at ruby dust, unless you want to put it back into a ruby, which is kind of pointless. And some of these others are really low quantity, or are only provided in the nether, which I don't do a lot of mining in the nether. So there's just the ones that I'm producing right now are the ones I'm really wanting to deal with, and but it works for all tiny piles. So I might set it up to do all tiny piles. So I'll set it up somewhere where I have access to the ME network, because then I can shift stuff in and out. I don't have to worry about having access all along the top of the block, like the fabricator doesn't care. So we need access to the ME network. That we will get here perfectly. And we'll just use ME network to put stuff in and out. Uh-oh. Okay, so I have no idea how the inputs and outputs of this block work. Whether you have to put in stuff via the top or the bottom. Just because I haven't used the block before, and I don't think I've found anything on the forum that described, not the forum, the wiki, that described the packager. Let's see here. Automation, here we go. It requires no power, which is awesome, just like the fab. Automated into, so input is the top or bottom, and then the output is the sides. So yeah, that's why when I put it next to this pipe, we had some leaves come in the side and they popped in on the output slot. If we pump things into the side, they go into the output slot. It's not the way you want to do it. So we want stuff to come in from the bottom. So what do I got here? I already have something in that slot, or in on that side. So I might just have to put a cover here probably. But the server's gonna go down in a minute, so I'll come back as soon as the server comes back up. Meantime, I'm going to try and get this cover on before it restarts. Okay. And there we go. So I'll have the input from the outside, and then, yeah, I should be able to get the ME import on the side. So I'll just have to make those imports and exports, and server's shutting down. Okay, so we're back. I was just thinking, I need this to be in stacks of 4, and with the ME export, I don't think you can specify how many. It's just 1, and then it'll push in as many as you can find. So that's not really, wow. It's not really what I wanted to do. I need it to be in stacks of 4 and only stacks of 4. Outside of a filter doesn't even work. Not a router. I need to pull stacks of 4 and 4 only. I'm thinking like a retrievulator would work, but that requires a retriever. Let's see, what else do we have for options? Okay, I've had some time to think about it, and I checked some YouTube videos, and I've seen a lot of beeutiful options, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go the route of just a filter, because a filter can pull out requested amounts of stacks. You can pull out stacks of 63, stacks of 2, stacks of 5, whatever it is. It could pull out stacks of, and of course it doesn't need beeutiful to run, but we will need an ME import and ME export still. So we need a pair of pistons. We need some wood, planks. Okay, one of these needs to be a sticky piston, so that's slime. Okay, get some of these miscellaneous things out of here. I'll show you what I did with the camouflage paste in a little bit. Don't need this in here, don't need that in there. These go here. This goes there. Okay, so let's get making our ME buses. See, there was some ME cable. Yeah. There's ME cable at the top. Interface in the middle. Iron on both sides. And depending on the machine, it's either sticky or not. So put the sticky in, put the iron in. You get the ME import. Alright, so I need a little bit of ME cable. I need a chest. Doesn't have to be all that pretty because it's just going to hold 3 or 4 or 5, a couple stacks. I guess up to 9 different stacks. So let's see here. I guess I'd have to build this somewhere else. Don't quite have the room that I need here. Let's see. There's ME along the bottom of this. There's that. I could just build it up here. Somewheres. Okay, so we're going to need to throw covers down here. Unless I just build one up from this. Wow, the server just restarted. It's got a little bit of block lag. Alright, so... Alright, so we're going to have our packager. And we're going to have a chest. Now the packager can't pull in or push out stuff from the chest. So we'll put the chest there. I'll need a filter, which I might need to make. Yeah. Alright, so piston gold. That's not it. Piston, ingot of gold. It was like that. We had some redstone maybe, some regular stone, and we had a red doped wafer. Probably some in here, yeah. Down at the bottom. Oh, it's a little bit off there. Okay, we also need a timer. That I should have, yep. A little bit of red wire. And some tubes. Matic will work. Alright, so now I need to get down to where I can find some ME cable. It should be, yeah, back here. Alright, so coming from there. I don't like too much space, otherwise we'll just get a bunch of creepers in here. Alright. So I need a ME import going onto this guy. And of course I threw him down wrong. Don't have the wrench on me, so yeah, I do, but I could have spun it. Okay. And then we're going to be importing so maybe I could put this chest over here. And I could switch this. Yeah, we're having lots of fun messing up cables here. There we go. So that will push in what we want into the chest, and then this will pull out of the package stamper. Now we just need a filter. So connect it like so. We put our filter, our timer I mean, and our red wire. Let's try to keep from having too many panels, because I hate panels. Like that. Oh, it didn't crash. Sweet. Alright, so it's like every... How often does this thing run? Do a recipe search real quick. Just 3 dusts. Every 50 seconds. Okay. So we'll do it. I'm gonna have other dusts that are gonna come through, tiny piles. So I'll just set it to like 8 seconds. All right. That's about as minimal as we can be. Still push enough through to get all our piles done. I think we're good. Let me push this in and see if it gets sucked up before it gets... Nope, I get turned in. It's not being sucked out of the left slot. That's good. We don't have to worry about it being sucked in ME network before it gets crafted, otherwise it'll just get pushed around. Okay, so here's the setup I have for the stamper. So I've got my wonderful stamper sitting here, and it's visible so I can see what's going on with it. I've got a chest, and the chest has the output of our galena dust, which is being produced over there in our electrolyzer, industrial electrolyzer. And we're sending all the dust into this chest via an ME export, and then our filter is set up to pull stacks of only 4 of some of these dusts, tiny piles of dusts, and it'll go through the network, or it'll go through these tubes, and it'll land in the top of our machine, and it'll get turned into a standard dust, and the standard dust will get pulled out of the ME import, like so. And I set it up once per pulse, and it's just going to feed off the timer. So as the timer pulses the filter and everything moves through, it should also pulse the import bus, and that will tell the import bus to go ahead and pull. So there should already be something waiting to be exported or imported into ME network sitting in the right side, and when that gets that pulse, it'll just pull it out as it sends a new one in. Of course, that's only going to happen if we've got a backup, but we don't have a backup right now. And it just did 2 different dust types just then. So that's pretty much the setup I have. It doesn't need any power. It just needs, you know, my ME import and export and some ME cables connected to it. A little filter, a timer, chest, and the machine itself. So that was a pretty simple fix. If I wanted to do this with the fabricators, I would need 1 fabricator per dust type, and it seemed a little overkill, a little seemed like a waste to have all that ME hardware running, hooked up, and draining power if there was just very little activity going on. The next thing I want to do though is I'd like to set up a new remote base and do something completely low tech but fun. And I want to do trees and bees. And I've never done it before, and I'll actually be going into trees and bees with a lot more technology than the average person that goes into trees and bees. They go full in early on. I'll be doing it a lot more late in the game, so I'll be able to go into it with a little bit more technology and a ton more resources. And it won't be something that I look to make a lot of resources from. It'll just be something that'll be fun. And my plan is to find the right biome to do the type of bees and trees I want to do. And then rather than just setting up a portal gun, which seems a little simple or maybe even oversimplified, I want to do a teleport. Teleports are fun. There's no real Greg tech involved, I think, other than the advanced machine blocks in creating some teleports. I've got that 512. Actually, I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, I've got that 512 output from my energy bridge. I could send that to the teleport to recharge the teleport, and I found a cool way to send power to my remote base as well. Ender tanks can transport steam, and of course I make steam, so what I could do then is I could transport, in the absolutely lossless way you can, steam from one base to the other. Then I can have an energy bridge on the other end that can convert that steam into EU and Buildcraft. I'll want to do EU because I'll want to be able to recharge the Tesseract, even if nothing else in that base is EU. It's going to require EU because most of your bees and tree stuff are going to be, things like the carpenter and stuff that use Buildcraft. I'll want it at least 128. I've got 128. I've got 2 medium voltage and I got a low voltage Industrial Craft 2 modules, and I can make another Buildcraft and another Steam module as well for the for that other bridge, and then I could be sending steam to that other bridge, just connecting my steam boilers up to this Ender tank, and I could be powering my remote base with steam. Okay, so that's my plan. It's going to be something different. I usually like to stick with a project until I'm done, but I know that could be a bit boring for people that aren't interested in that particular project. And also, bees and trees I've never done before, so we'll see how it goes. I hope it goes really well. I'm going to look to make a slightly more creative base and better looking, of course, than this. Cobblestone and oak wood planks are kind of meh. And I've got a lot of materials to build with, so I might try and find something that looks nice. I don't want to try and copy, but a lot of good ideas have already been done. So, yeah. I'm thinking something along the lines of something that looks like a hexagonal kind of base that allows me to create a couple fields that I can work with for trees and bees, and it'll be my own kind of version of it, I think. But and I'll try not to do too much copying or anything crazy like that. But you'll get to see it, and stay tuned. Yeah. So I think this is just I'll end the episode here, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching an episode of my Feed the Beast Ultimate video series. If you had any questions, comments, or ideas about what went on in the video, then please leave me some feedback in the comment section below. Also, if the video was helpful, useful, or entertaining to you, then please like the video. If you did find this episode entertaining, then feel free to visit my YouTube channel and find the Feed the Beast Ultimate playlist to watch other videos. And subscribe while you're there so you know when the next video is available. See you next time.